to get started, I'd love to hear about how you got into the business in the first place and your background leading up to your current role as President and CEO of the National Skiers Association.
So I was at Mount Snow for 32 years,
Yeah.
and I did a lot of different things in marketing, including events. And then I wanted to try different things, so I did get in the operations side.
Yeah.
I did everything from managing parking and security, training center, ski school, guest services. I had a quick stint as the HR director. That I am not suited for. And then I went into, during the American Skiing Company years, I went into the marketing and sales director. And I actually raised my hand a couple times to be the GM, and I wasn't ready yet.
Yeah.
So, the current GM would take me aside and explain what I needed to work on.
Yep.
And yeah, I just kept trying. And then in 2005, that's when I became the GM.
So now you've been president, CEO of the National Skiers Association for just over a year and a half now.
Right.
What have you learned?
I have learned so much. I really wish that I had paid attention to National Skiers Association more when I was in my role at Mount Snow, because it would have been a little easier. There were things I was doing on my own that I could have just picked up the phone. For instance,
right.
Mount Snow is on U.S. Forest Service land,
Yeah.
and there were times that I just worked on things my own, and I could have easily just picked up the phone and called Geraldine, who's on the phone all the time helping skiers out. Same with lifts. And I know our lift guys were on the phone with them getting help and expertise, but there were things that I probably should have taken advantage of. So I think that has been the biggest eye-opener for me is all the different things that NSAA does that I had no idea they did.
Right.
Yeah.
We put the onus on the individual ski areas to do the marketing and shape that perception of what skiing and riding is, when really what they have only the bandwidth for is to sell the product of that day, the upcoming season's passes, the upcoming Martin Luther King Day event. They need to focus on these things and sell them to an audience that is already bought in primarily. So when we talk about growing the pie, growing the sport, I'm challenged by that idea without addressing the perception issue and taking more control of that perception from the script writers in Hollywood and then doing television and Mountain Dew and Red Bull that may not be working with us to target an audience that may be risk adverse, the moms, the millennials, and things like that.
At some point, we are going to have to tell a different story. And it's a story. Storytelling is so powerful. And we're going to have to tell it to a different group of people.
Yeah.
So depending on where you're located, it may be a Latino family. And you have to understand, I'm thinking of Mountain High right now. And what a good job they have done in really opening up their mountain to so many people. As America diversifies, we're going to have to change the makeup of our skiers, and we're going to have to work really hard to make sure that our messaging and our facilities are welcoming, because there's a whole group of people who don't think that those mountains are their mountains. Of course they are.
Right.
And there's nothing we would like more than to have them at our ski areas, but the perception is that that's for a different type of person.
Yeah.
When we become multicultural, it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, the food's going to get much better.
Yeah.
The food has really gotten so much better already. We've gone from hot dogs, burgers, and chili to, Asian fusion at the summit of a mountain.
We're doing a better job on food and beverage. We're doing a better job with retail. We're doing a better job with summer. And that's why the industry is healthy.
Is the increasing yield? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, if you look at our revenue over a long period of time, it's like this. There's steady growth. Obviously, there's some dips, but the trend line is going in the right direction. And people are like, oh, it's because your lift tickets. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the yield on a lift ticket, that hasn't had significant growth. It is definitely lifts and seasons passes. We're selling a bunch of those, but we're also doing a much better job with food and beverage, with lessons, with retail, with rental shops. All those things that when you go on vacation, you want to spend money. People don't go on vacation and I know everything's on a card now, but you don't put $500 in your pocket and get home with $400 and say,
yeah, right.
You go and you want to spend it. So we are healthy. What we need to do is prepare for the future.
Yeah.
Because if the number of participants doesn't grow, then as our baby boomers continue to age out, we'll have a problem on our hands.
Yeah.
So we have time to correct this, and it all comes down to the number of participants. Need some more.
We need to grow.